Now, I've got a confession. Every time I clear up my craft room, I get distracted by craft stuff. And then I film another project, and then my desk gets really untidy again. So I'm going to film this, and I'm going to show you this DSP, and then I'm going to properly tidy up my craft room. And if you believe that, you'll believe anything. So I want to show you this, and I've gone and forgotten the name of the DSP, and I've gone and put my catalogue somewhere. That's a really good start, isn't it? This I think is called Whale of a Time. What have I done with my catalogue? There it is. Goodness me, start a video, not actually prepared. So in the DSP section of the catalogue, must be on the other page. So here it is, Whale of a Time. That is what it's called, Whale of a Time. This is 6x6 paper. And this is what it looks like. And it's unusual. Never crafted with anything like this before, the design of it. But it's a very nautical theme. And I love these colours. Really, really love these colours. Look at the seahorses. Aren't they gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. That's got a kind of a scale effect on it. And then some fish in a kind of circle. What's on the back of that? Oh yeah, the scales. And then we've got some kind of fern stuff and jellyfish. Love the colours, absolutely love the colours on here. This looks like granny apple green. That could be Calypso coral. Blackberry bliss, this looks like pretty peacock. That could be bumblebee. Look at those. Look at this one looking right at you. Absolutely love that. I've not noticed that before until I looked at it then. He's just looking straight at you. I love it. Then we've got some more underwater plant life. This is great. Now I've just fussy cut. Where's the piece that I want to show you? There it is. So that's another piece with more of a marine scene in front of the other side. So with this, I fussy cut a whale. And look, you can actually have it standing on a mini dimensional. You could put a couple of those in there. And I just think that looks really nice. In fact, I'm going to do that. Not now. I really, really like that. Lovely for a bigger card. That's lovely. Absolutely lovely. And the lady that joined my team recently, she made a side easel card using this. So clever. So, so clever. So we have more fish. And look at that shaft of light coming from the surface, coming down now onto all this plant life. Absolutely lovely DSP. I love it. Oh, and we've got that one as well that I've been using for this project that I'm going to make next. So this, I think it goes that way because these things are going upwards with the fish. And we've got those kind of, you can tell I know nothing about plant life whatsoever. I'm just kind of bumbling my way through that. Sorry. So let me show you what I'm going to make, and we're going to start off, as usual, with a card base. Let's get my card out that I didn't get out before I started filming. So I'm going to start with Whisper White. And I've just found out that I've got a whole totally free pack of Whisper White coming to me because I did the challenge. I met the challenge of recruiting in June, and I didn't just recruit one, I recruited two, and so I've won myself a pack of Whisper White. It's like, thank you very much. So a piece of A4, just cut in half on the long side at 5 7/8, and then turn it, and then what is now your long side, you are going to score that at 4 1/8. There's your card base. Fold that on the score line and burnish it with a bone folder. Nice easy start. Now I've taken this, so this was 6x6. I've just sliced a bit off the top and sliced a bit off the side. So I've taken that now. That's what you've got on the other side. That's the other big whales. In fact, that's got a different background to that one. So myself and two of my other crafty friends, we've done a paper share. And so we share the paper out between us. So we end up with a sheet of this each. But I'm not using that side, I'm using that side. And I'm just setting the scene there. Have it that way, or do we want it that way? Oh, I don't know now. That way. They look like waves that way, don't they? You can tell I know nothing about nature. Nothing at all. I live in the middle of the country, nowhere near the sea or a beach. Right, sadly, I've got to cover up those whales with some glue. Sorry, whales, sorry, fish. But I love this, just setting the scene behind it. You could put another layer behind that if you want to. So you'd need to make this one slightly smaller. Just drop the measurements down by 1/8 of an inch. I'll make a blog post for this with all of the measurements, but that is 4 inches by 5 3/4. So then what I did is I took my favourite pieces from the A Whale of a Time DSP, and then I cut squares out of them, but on the diagonal. That's why we got some funny cuts in there like that. I cut it on the diagonal. And what I did, if I can find it, I made some squares and then I just put them over it like that, so to make sure that I've actually got them at the right angle. So these measure 1.5 inches square. And you just need to decide, well, not decide, just work out which way round they go. Now, I wanted to have a layer on the back of those. And so I've layered this with Just Jade. So I'm going to stick those on there like that. You can use dimensionals if you want to, but for these smaller squares, I'm not. So those squares of Just Jade measure 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. So let's just mount those onto the card. And this Just Jade is a really nice kind of marine green. Does that make any sense at all? Marine green. You know what I mean. I think that's the term, marine green. Sea green. Oh, I don't know. I'm making it up as I go along. So I've just mounted those 2 squares. You don't have to mount those on card at all. It's not compulsory, but I do like to layer stuff up. So if you're a relatively new crafter, new card maker, don't layer if you don't want to. But if you fancy it, layer it. Give it a go. You'll realise it's not super difficult. I've got something sticky on my fingers. So there are those 2. I'll stick those down in a minute because what I like to do is just put them all together first. So the next thing I did is I then got a piece of this one. So this has got everything in it. It's got the jellyfish, it's got this such cute turtle, I love it, and the whales and the seahorses and this marine plant. Oh no, that's not, that's a jellyfish. In fact, there's a crab. There's a crab in there as well. And then I cut that on the diagonal. It wasn't actually as I wanted it to turn out. The square isn't big enough for the whale, so I haven't actually got a complete whale in there. I wasn't going to do anything about it other than just lose my head over it. So I just kept it as it was. I thought I'll do something else with this. So that measures 2 inches square. And then I've got another piece of Just Jade cardstock, and that measures 2 1/8 square. So you can see with my layers, I just make each one 1/8 of an inch bigger. And the paper trimmer helps you measure those really, really accurately. You can do them 1/4 of an inch bigger, but the border around it tends to be a bit on the big side. So let's just mount that on there. Like that. And then let's bring this back and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. I still haven't chosen my sentiment yet. As usual, for a taffy crafting video, not even thought about the sentiment. So we're going to put that on there with glue evenly. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a mini dimensional on each corner and then mount it on there like that. So let's put these on first. So the first one dictates where the second one's going to go. So you've got to get this one right. You can measure if you want to. I never do. Not because I'm super clever, but because I'm super lazy. So that's it, it's on. There's nothing I can do about that now. So this one has got to match it. And I just eyeball it. Just. There we are. And then this one, just decide what angle you're going to have it. I think I'm going to go there. I don't think it really makes any difference. And I'm going to put that there. And then what I did is I fussy cut that whale. I'm not doing that on camera because I can't. My eyesight's not good enough. And I'm going to put that, him, her, whatever, there. I'm not going to put it there. I'm going to put it here. If my fussy cutting skills were any better, I would fussy cut that turtle out. But I can't. I would need hours. And it's quite intricate. But he is so cute, isn't he? So, so cute. No, let's leave him alone. Right, so let's stick that one down. So I need my dimensionals. And I think I'm just going to put one on every, just one in the middle and one at either corner. Let's get them on the right corner. Take off the backing bits. And this has got to be my last crafting project for the day because these pesky things, well, that one's disappeared. These things appear all over my house in the most ridiculous places. And you think, how did that get there? Found one in my hair the other day. So just line it up. Just make sure you'll have more time with this. You don't want to watch me now lining this up. So I'm just going to go for it. And there we are. So that's got a little bit of height to it. I think we might have to put a dimensional on that. God, we use more dimensionals. You know me, I don't like to use any more than I have to. And I'm going to have to take the backing off. Does it just sound like I'm talking to myself while I do these videos? Do you just kind of listen along to me just merrily chatting to myself? Right, that one's going to go on there. That's not flapping about now. And let's put that one on the back there. Oops, I can see that one. I'll put that there. That's far better. That is now not flapping about. Let's put this on here and we'll put the sentiment there. So this whale is going to get stuck on with a bit of this. I'm just lopping a bit off the edge. Put that on there and I'm going to leave the tail kind of sticking up a bit so it gives a little bit of 3D on the card. And I know we kind of lose that point there, but I'm not going to get upset about that. So we've got that there. So let's put the sentiment here and let's choose the sentiment. I haven't even got it out of the box. And I'm going to go with Itty Bitty Birthdays because I've been using that just recently. And this, oh, what can we have? We'll just have birthday wishes. That will do. Will that fit on there? Yes, beautifully. So I'll get my ink block. So all these things that I've been putting away when I've been clearing up, I'm just getting them back out again. And I've got to decide how I'm going to mount this. So I think what I want is some Just Jade. And I need, let's have a look, 2.5 inches. And I'll do that by an inch. Two and a half inches by 1 inch. That actually I think is too big. It's too big. 3/4 of an inch. How's that? Much better. Let me just show you where that is on the paper, or on the card rather. So we can put that on there. Now I could I could round off those corners on this. However, none of these are rounded off. I just don't think it would be right. We're just going to have a nice bog standard label on this. So I now need a piece. That was 2.5, wasn't it? So I need a piece of white card. And this needs to measure 5/8 of an inch. So we're getting super teeny tiny now. By 2 5/8. So, no, 2 3/8. 2 3/8 by 5/8. This does get a little bit tricky, so just get your card in there. Can't pick it up because these stupid nails. Look pretty, not practical. And I think what I'm going to do is stamp this in, let's stamp it in Night of Navy. Or just jade. No, Night of Navy, I'm here now. Note to self, get everything out ready before you do a video. See if I can get this right first time. Line it up, stamp it. Oh, that could be better. Let's try it one more time. If not, I'll go with that first one. That's much better. And I'm just going to line those up with some dimensionals. Oh, so I'll mount that rather onto the jade card with dimensionals. Oh, my husband's just come out of his office. He'll just shout up the stairs wondering where I am, or barge in the room. So before he starts yelling up the stairs, wondering where I am, let's just mount this and finish this. There's our sentiment on there, which will stick on there. I'm just going to stick that down with some glue. And there we have it. A marine inspired birthday card. I hope you like it. I've left a link to my shop in the description bar below with details of how you can purchase these. Details are also on my blog post. I've left a link for that in the description bar, and I hope you like it, and I'll be back again soon with another project for you. I'll see you then. Bye bye.